When this bear saw his new home, his reaction was priceless. This bear had spent his whole life inside a tiny cage, never knowing what freedom felt like. When a rescue team discovered his suffering, they decided to help him, even though they knew it would be challenging. What they did not expect was how emotional his journey would be. When he was finally released into his new home, his response moved everyone to tears. Born in a zoo, the bear was later sold to a circus in Serbia called Corona. From a young age, he was forced to perform tricks in front of loud, cheering audiences. The details of his time in the circus are unclear, but one thing is certain, he never experienced freedom. In 2009, Serbia banned the use of wild animals in circuses, which meant he was no longer needed for performances. However, instead of being set free, he was locked inside a small cage, unable to move or live a normal life as a bear. Luckily, an international animal welfare organization called Four Paws learned about his sad situation. This group is dedicated to rescuing animals that live in terrible conditions, and they knew they had to help. However, saving him was not simple. The team had to go through legal steps and work with local officials to get permission to take him away from the circus. It was a long and difficult battle, but finally, in October 2016, he was taken from the circus. Since there was no permanent home for him yet, he was temporarily moved to a zoo in Serbia. For nearly 2 years, he stayed at the zoo while Four Paws searched for the perfect place for him to live. Finally, in July 2018, they found the ideal home, a bear sanctuary in Switzerland, created by the Arosa Bear Foundation. This sanctuary was built to provide rescued bears with a safe and natural environment. He would be the first bear to live there, but getting him there was another big challenge. Since he was a large bear, weighing about 1,200 pounds, transporting him was not easy. First, veterinarians had to sedate him so he would remain calm during the journey. Then, he was placed inside a special crate and loaded onto a bear ambulance. His journey covered around 870 miles and lasted 28 hours. The trip included traveling in a van and even a cable car ride up a mountain. He traveled in comfort, with air conditioning and regular checkups from veterinarians to make sure he was doing well. However, there was a small issue near the end of the journey. The team had to figure out how to move his heavy crate from the ambulance to the cable car. It was a difficult task, but they worked together and found a solution. Karsten Hartwig, a bear expert from Four Paws, later described the process as a logistical masterpiece. Despite the challenges, they succeeded, and he finally arrived at his new home at the Arosa Bear Sanctuary on July 4, 2018. At first, he was placed in a special area to help him adjust to his surroundings. He was given fresh food, including fruits, vegetables, and meat. For the first time in his life, he also experienced a refreshing shower with a hose. This simple act of kindness made him incredibly happy. As he explored his new surroundings, he seemed curious but also relieved to finally be in a place where he could move freely. After some time, the team decided he was ready to explore his larger space. He was given access to an area with more than an acre of land just for him. The sanctuary was designed to be as natural as possible, with slopes, trees, and ponds for the bears to enjoy. One of his favorite activities quickly became swimming. He eagerly jumped into his pond and played in the water, something he had never been able to do before. The Arosa Bear Sanctuary officially opened in August 2018. It covers 3 hectares of land and can house up to 5 bears at a time. This sanctuary is more than just a home for rescued bears, it is also an educational center. Visitors can learn about animal welfare and the importance of caring for wild animals that have suffered mistreatment. He and the other bears at the sanctuary have become symbols of hope, showing the world that animals deserve kindness and freedom. Despite his painful past, his story had a happy ending. He went from being a neglected circus bear trapped in a cage to living in a beautiful sanctuary where he could roam, play, and swim. His journey not only changed his life but also inspired many people to support animal welfare. His new home was a place where he could finally be free, and his reaction upon arriving showed just how much it meant to him. However, he was diagnosed with epilepsy in June 2020. As his health worsened and medicine failed, life became hard. To end his suffering, he was peacefully laid to rest.